Okay, so today I'm going to be talking a little bit about how to live pain-free, happy, and healthy in this pandemic. And so the reason why is because I think it's so important now more than ever to have our health. I think that some of the news with this virus has really made people take their health a lot more seriously. And so I want to address some things that will help you to live a happier and healthier life. And the things that I want to address are these three T's. Managing these three T's that can lead to your stress overload are so important. And we have them all the time in our lives, but how we're experiencing them during this time of social distancing and COVID-19 is a little bit different. So the three T's are traumas, toxins, and thoughts. And we'll dive in a little bit to each of those and talk about some of the ways that you can manage them. So the first T, trauma. So more than ever, people are working from home and they usually have not had a person come out to set up their workstation properly. And so one of the things that you can do is you can follow along to a video on ergonomics. I have one that I can post in the comments, or you can use an infographic to set up your screens and your computer chair. If you have a trusted friend or person who does your health consulting at your business, you can ask them if how your chair is set up is correct for you. As a chiropractor, one of the things that I'm doing for my patients, for my family, and for my friends is looking at their workstations and telling them how they can set them up a little bit differently. But this change in ergonomics, or how you're sitting, can be a major cause of neck pain, low back pain, and shoulder discomfort. I've even had some patients say that they're turned to the side during the day while they're doing their work, and they're constantly turned one direction, and that's putting a lot of stress and strain on their spine and their muscles, and so that is adding up on a day-to-day basis. The other thing that's an issue is that because people are working from home, they aren't taking the breaks that they normally take. So you're sitting for an extended period of time, you have fewer breaks, and the expectation is that you get as much, if not more, done in a day during this time period because you don't have anything to distract you at home, except everything is distracting you at home. But a solution for this is to set an alarm reminder for 40 minutes to an hour and then get up and walk, do some squats. I posted an hourly challenge to my blog. And so every hour on the hour, you get up and you do 50 squats or 20 jumping jacks or 15 push-ups, whatever suits you the best, you do. So the other thing that you can do is stretch areas of discomfort. Cat-cows are awesome to do at home. Pigeon pose, Brugger's relief position are all really, really good. I'll go over some of those at the end. At least I'll go over Brugger's relief at the end. Otherwise, I have pictures of cat-cows if you're not familiar, and that I'll be able to post later. So the next T that we were going to talk about is the toxins. So the problem, toxins. Now is the perfect time to encourage healthy eating choices because we're eating at home for the most part, unless we're doing carry out. Certain foods are pro-inflammatory. That's going to be your fried foods, your high refined sugar foods, and that'll add to any discomfort you're feeling because it'll increase inflammation, increase irritation through a feedback loop in your body. So the other thing is that people are consuming nervous system irritants like alcohol and caffeine really, really heavily during this time. I have several friends who send me Snapchats almost daily that they're drinking, which I don't have any judgment towards, but this toxic load is going to increase in our body, and it's going to make it harder for our body to handle the stress that it's under. And I'm a huge offender of consuming too much caffeine. So no judgment to anybody else because I have my vice too. So consuming that amount of caffeine is making me weaker and exposing points where I could be decreasing my health. And so trying to modify the amount of caffeine you drink, trying to modify the amount of alcohol that you drink is going to be super important. Drinking water, very important during this time. Water hydrates our body and flushes out toxins. So one solution, like we just talked about, drinking water, but the other is healthy eating. Healthy eating habits will improve mood, mental clarity, and will naturally leave your body in a state of less inflammation. And so why this is important is because you're going to feel better, you're going to function better, and honestly, you're probably going to have more energy, which is so great. Healthy eating can be difficult if you need some guidance. I post healthy recipes to my blog, and I will be releasing a healthy recipe book here very soon. When I do get that finished, I will put that in the comments of this video as well, or at least a link to it so that you can find it online. The blog recipes are free, but the recipe book has a small cost associated with it. I also offer health coaching. So all the stretches, exercises, and healthy eating tips that you see, I put together a program specifically for you that will be your preferred eating habits, your preferred style of exercise. So that is something that you can always try as well. The other big problem is the thoughts at this period in time. Right now, bad press is being sensationalized more than good press, and good press is almost absent. This is almost a daily thing, but having no sports to watch on TV, or if you're a sports person, or concerts to go to, I mean, having those good things being minimalized while the bad press is being nationalized is kind of hard to take at times. So the other problem being social media is full of judgment. Either you're trying too hard or you're not trying hard enough. Should you be doing more with social distancing? Are you just a follower because you're doing the guidelines? What's best? You have to decide what's best for you and your family. But this can be really hard on our mental health to see our family and friends judging so harshly. And finally, this emotional stress can lead to defense posture. So just to define defense posture, what is it? It's a posture you take on when you're stressed, angry, or anxious, and this can look like clenched fists, hunched, rounded shoulders, carrying that tension and stress in your neck and shoulders. And in extreme cases, you may notice you're coming into the fetal position when you're super stressed out. So the solution for these, regain control of those thoughts. So what can you do? Meditation. Meditation, I use an app. I use MindBody when I meditate, and it is good for me because I kind of need that guidance. But if you're skilled in meditation, utilizing that skill and just using that time to let your thoughts and feelings go and release that out. Another thing is that Brugger's relief stretch that I talked about earlier. If you're in defense posture, take some time to do this stretch. It will relax the body, take some deep breaths there and relax the mind. And we'll go over that here in a minute. Yoga, because of the history of connecting the body and the breath, yoga is a great choice and may be the perfect thing that you need. There's tons of yoga videos on YouTube. My friend is doing a yoga challenge. If you want a link to that, I can provide it. Let me know. Journaling, writing down your thoughts and feelings is so important. If you get it on paper, you can define it and you can change it. It gives you a greater chance of having your feelings resolved. And finally, affirmations. So this doesn't have to look like I'm going to have $1 million, but what it can look like is writing down some positive energy. So for me, what this looks like is everything will get done. This will pass. And just knowing that it's true. A friend of mine commented that she does, well, what's my life going to look like a month from now, a year from now, and 5 years from now? And in the grand scheme of things, we're going to get over this and move forward individually and as a collective population. So utilizing that thought process can be really good for people. It can also help you create and form a little bit of a vision of where you want to go next. So finally, I talked a little bit, don't mind my dog's squeaky toy. Finally, I talked a little bit about the health coaching option, the recipes, the exercise, and then if you want accountability for your meditation, for your exercise, for your healthy eating habits, join the private group that I've created. Now is the best time to invest in your health. And so by investing in your health, you're going to create a better sense of well-being, and you're going to be able to move forward with other goals that you might have. So to go over that stretch, for the relief stretch here. I'm just gonna lower down so I can show you. What you'll do is you have your palms facing forward, drop those hands, drop the shoulders, bring them together at the back, tuck your chin forward and stretch. Take some deep breaths here. Your chest is opened to the world, so it makes it easier to breathe, expand, and really provides a sense of relief and well-being while you're taking those deep breaths there. So I hope you learned something. If you want to join my private coaching group, please comment below or send me a message and I will get you added to that. If you're interested in the recipe book, go ahead and let me know too. I am taking pre-orders for that. So let me know in the comments or send me an email and I will get back to you. Thanks.